Be a restorative yoga with, and there's a pop-up on the screen. Does that matter, Lisa, or no?
You can just click got it. Just click the,
Click on it.
yeah,
Oh, boy, this
there we go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. So a couple things you need just to be comfortable. Mats, I'm sitting on a bolster, I have a bad knee, so I'm trying to baby myself a little bit. With restorative yoga, you might want to light a candle, you want to kind of set up your room, maybe dim your lights a little bit. If you're cold, always have socks nearby or a jacket, because we're on the floor a lot. We're going to start out with some stretching, but we'll do probably 3 or 4 restorative poses. So we'll be laying for quite some time. If anything hurts at any time, don't do it. Just go into Shavasana. The other thing is to think about, you might want some music, different things in the background. You'll be able to tune out the noises. And after class, don't pick up your cell phones. Try to get all of that stuff done. Maybe next time we do this before class, brush your teeth, wash your face, even do yoga in your pajamas. So once you get done with really relaxing, you can stay in that space and not pop up and have things to do. So basically think about this class as the beginning of kind of your sleep, to kind of set the mode, set the tune, and just get yourself in that space. So we're going to just start by just sitting comfortably. So if it's sitting on a bolster like I am, or sitting Indian style, whatever works. Sitting in a chair, you're going to need a chair of some sort later. And we're just going to close our eyes for a minute. And we're going to try to think about setting an intention for this class. And for me, it's just sleeping. It's just that simple. So just, I want you to think to yourself and say to yourself, I deserve to be well rested. So kind of keep that thought in your mind, and we're going to take a couple breaths. We're going to breathe in for 4 and pause for 4 and exhale for 4. And if you're pausing longer, that's okay. If you're pausing shorter, that's fine. Just kind of find your own rhythm. So breathe in, pause, and exhale. And think about, I deserve to be well rested. Breathe in for 4. And pause for 4. And exhale for 3. And one more beautiful breath in. And then a nice pause and exhale. So we're going to start out with some really simple things. You want to keep your eyes closed, that's fine. We're going to slowly drop our chin down to our chest, stretching out the back of our neck. So when we do this, I want you to think about really resting those shoulders. Don't hunch those shoulders up to your ears. Really just relax the shoulders and drop that chin down to our chest. And breathe in and bring your head back to neutral. We're going to drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Again, stretching out the side of your neck. One side might feel more tension. Sometimes I cradle my phone, which is a problem. Breathe back to center. And then our left ear to our left shoulder. And just breathe nice and gentle. And come back to center. So let's gently roll our head. So we're going to drop our chins to our chest. And gently roll your head to the right. Nice and slow. We don't want to get dizzy. Breathe. Just enjoying this movement. When you get to the center point, just drop your head back down and lift it back up. So now we're gonna shrug our shoulders a little bit. We're gonna shrug our shoulders up to our ear and let that tension go. So let everything shrug them up and let all the stress from today go. Don't need to carry that around anymore. Stretch up and let it go. So let's do some little circles. So just waking up our shoulders just a little bit. If you have shoulder problems, you can make smaller circles. Come to the top and pause. And we're going to go in the other direction. Really nice. So let's set our hands on our knees. So I want you to gently make little fists. And I want you to think about when you open your hands, letting things go. So just take a nice breath in. And on your exhale, start to open your hands. And just let the tension go. And another breath in, and then maybe make gentle fists again. Slowly open and let that stress and tension go. So we really want to center ourselves. So we're going to go through a short sequence. We're going to do probably the sequence 3 times. So we're going to come up into our cactus arms like this. And we're going to take our arms and just slowly come together and open up our backs a little bit. So when you come back, really think about what are your shoulder blades doing. And just let's do this 3 times. And then we're going to come into my favorite, which is the dirty t-shirts. We're going to put our hands on our shoulders. We're going to lift all the way up. Big, big, big stretch and let that tension go. And our hands and our shoulders again. Big stretch like we're pulling a shirt over our head. And one more time. Perfect. So let's come back to our cactus arms. Gently come in and clap. So work with your own breath. Take your time. We are really trying to reset ourselves after a long day. Place our hands on our shoulders. Big, beautiful stretch. Stretch your fingertips wide. Maybe look up at that sky or that ceiling. Let's do one more. Perfect. So we're going to take a minute and come onto our hands and knees. So if you have bad knees, you might want to grab a blanket. And we're just going to do a few gentle stretches here. So we're going to start with a cat-cow. So I want you to think about your fingertips are spread really, really, really wide. And your knees are hip distance apart. So you're going to push through the palms of your hands and start to roll your back and drop your head. And as you inhale, you're going to arch your back and pull your head up. So I want you to find your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. And take your time and really feel your spine stretch. Really nice. Don't overstretch yourself. And take your time breathing in and out. Let's do a couple more. When you're done, we're just going to come to neutral. So this is going to be a really easy thing. We're going to lift our right hand up and you can stay right here. If you're feeling comfortable, let's lift our left leg and just do a nice little balance and a stretch here, flexing your toe. And you can stay right here. You can always set your toe down. You can set your hand down and just lift your leg. And if you want a little bit more, take that elbow into that knee and just stretch. Let's just do 3 of these. Gently set your hand and your knee back down. We're going to lift the left hand up, fingers wide, and you're going to flex that foot again. You can just do the hand or just do the foot. And take a beautiful breath in. Take that left elbow to that right knee. And we're just going to do 3 of these. This is good for your balance. This is good for your abs, your core. All of those things. And come back down to center. So we're going to thread the needle, if you're familiar with that. So we're going to lift our right hand up. We're going to take our hand and scoop it behind our left hand and then set your right here on the mat. If this is too hard, you can grab a blanket, you can grab a block and place your head or your ear on the block. So this is a beautiful stretch. So let's take 4 breaths here. So when you're done, come back to center. Beautiful. Let's lift our left hand up. Thread the needle behind our right, dropping our left ear down to that mat. And if you want more, you can always take that right hand and reach around your back and reach for that thigh. That just opens up the chest a little bit more. And breathe. Breathing is so important here. So take 4 breaths. Nice and slow breaths. When you're done, gently unwind yourself and then come back to tabletop. So let's lift our right foot up and let's flex our feet. Take out blocks. Oops, sorry guys. And let's place those toes down and just push back and stretch out our calves. So a nice little stretch here. You should feel that. I do a lot of walking, so this really is tight. So let's take a couple breaths here. Let's bring that knee and set it back down. Let's lift our left foot up. Placing our toes on the ground and pushing back through that heel. Push back and stretch out that other calf. Let's take a couple breaths here. And gently set that knee down. So let's get onto our backs and do some stretching on our back, and then we're going to go into our poses. I'm noticing the clock's off the wall. So when you're on your back, I want you to wiggle down into that mat or wiggle down to that floor. If you want to put a blanket on, you're welcome to do that. I hope you guys can see me. I think you can. So I want you to point and flex your toes. Super, super easy. We're pointing our toes and flexing our toes. We're stretching on our calves. So now we're going to do something for our lymphatic system. So as we point, we're going to have our fingers at our side. And as we flex, I want you to think about bringing your hands overhead. If this is too hard and you've had surgery, you can always just go halfway up or set them on a bolster. So you're going to point and flex. So think about your breath, just breathing and pointing and flexing, getting that lymphatic system and everything moving that helps us feel Breathing. Beautiful. Let's do a couple more. Now we're going to do a couple stretches and a couple more things. So we're going to put our hands on our side and we're going to stand with our feet hip distance apart on the mat. So we're going to do this, I call this like the wipers, the windshield wipers. We're just going to swish our knees to the right and swish our knees to the left. So this is really good for your hips, your lower back. You're just swishing. Just kind of waking things up a little bit. Do a couple more. So now we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to put our hands completely straight out to the side. So we're going to do a twist. So that's really good to get the toxins out of our bodies, especially if we're doing chemo and things like that. So we're going to drop our knees to the right. We're going to slowly turn our head and neck to the left. Your knees do not have to touch the ground. They're just floating. So I would love for you to take 4 breaths here if you can. One more breath. And slowly bring yourself back to neutral. So now take 1 breath in neutral. Nice gentle exhale and drop your knees to the left. Again, taking your head slowly and turning it to the right. So looking at those fingers on your right hand. And when you get comfortable, let's take 4 breaths here. One more breath. As you exhale, draw your knees back to center. So let's take a minute and give our knees a hug and give ourselves a nice big hug. We're grateful for ourselves, for our bodies today. Then we're going to do a nice pigeon hip stretch. So we're going to set both of our feet down. We're going to take our right foot up and cross it with our knee. And you can stay right here. And if you're feeling like you want more, take your hands, reach for that left leg and pull that foot into your chest. And you can stay here. If you want more, slowly lift that head and neck and kind of roll up towards your foot and breathe. So let's take 2 breaths here. Slowly release your head and neck if you've lifted it. And drop your left foot and uncross knees. So let's lift our left foot up to the sky. Cross it over our right knee. Again, this is enough. One more. Pull that knee and that foot into your chest. If you want to lift your head and neck and roll up for a minute, go right ahead. And take 2 breaths here. One more. And slowly set your head and neck down, your foot, and meet it with your other foot. And draw your knees back in and give yourself 1 more hug. And roll your lower back out a little bit if you want. If you want to go into happy baby or anything like that, you can. All that stuff feels really good on your back. So let's take our time and roll onto one side or the other. And come back up to seated. So the first one we're gonna start with is a bolster or a pillow. So grab whatever you have. So we're gonna do a restorative child's pose. So what I like to do is I like to take a blanket and I like to make like a runway like this over my bolster. And we're gonna be on our right side and then our left side. So we're gonna be here for a while. So if you get cold, grab a blanket. You might want a blanket up here for your head a little bit, whatever you kind of think you feel like. You might want a blanket to cover up with. So we're gonna lay here for about 4 minutes on each side. So this is gonna be an 8-minute restorative pose. So you definitely want to be nice and comfy. Put a jacket back on, put your socks on, maybe dim the lights in your house. So we're going to take our time, and I've got my clock, so I promise it won't be more than 4 minutes. So we're going to take our left hip and maybe we'll only do 3. Ready? Almost. So we're going to put our left hip up against our bolster. So the key is you're just going to roll down this bolster and lay your head down. So when you just run your hands along the pillow or the bolster and take your blanket and prop your head up. So if you have glasses on like I do, I suggest you take them off. So when you get down here, sometimes you're just not comfortable. So I want you to be mindful of how does that feel? So wiggle down. Move your feet, move your hips, like where is it? Where do you sit and where do you feel where you're just kind of melting into that bolster or pillow? So your hands can just rest by your side. So I want you to close your eyes and we're here for 3 minutes. And if you need to adjust it all, go right ahead and do that. Let your breath go, let all that stress go. Watch it float away. Your mind starts to chatter. Go back to thinking about your breath. Feel yourself getting tense. Let that stress go. Sometimes I have a tendency to hold myself up. I want you to really let the stress from your hands go. Maybe make some gentle fists and let it go. Let your body melt onto that bolster. Pretend you're really, really, really heavy. Got 1 more minute. Again, be really mindful if you're getting tense. Start to wake yourself up just a tiny little bit. We're gonna push our hands, lift up our head, and walk our hands back. So you can either move your bolster to the other side, or you can just shift your body. And now take your right hip and put your hip up against that bolster. I'm gonna like lock. And you're gonna take your hands and again, just push down. Slowly hug that bolster and give yourself a nice big hug. And relax and readjust to make sure you're comfortable. You're gonna be here for 4 more minutes. And if you're feeling tense, slowly make this, slowly let that stress go. Find your breath. If you've got too much chatter, let yourself really relax. We have 1 more minute here. Start to wiggle those toes. And wake yourself up and walk back up to a seated position. So now we're gonna take our bolsters. And we can do one of two things. We're gonna do a supported bridge pose. So you can use blocks under your hips. You can use a bolster under your hips. You can use a blanket, whatever you feel comfortable. We're only gonna be in the bridge pose for maybe 3 minutes. So I'm gonna use my blocks. You can use one block or you can use 2 blocks like this, whatever feels more comfortable. So kind of keep your pillow there and your blankets and just slowly get yourself set up and lay back down when you're ready and kind of wiggle down into that mat again. Nice and grounded. Your feet are going to be hip distance apart. I want you to take your block when you're ready, or your bolster or your pillow. And if you don't want anything, you can hold bridge pose without anything. So you slowly push through your feet and lift your hips up. You can take that block and set it under a tushy and kind of wiggle down onto it. Take your hands, rest them at your side, and breathe and close your eyes. So we're only going to be here for a couple minutes. Let your breath go. When you're like in this position, we have a tendency to be tense and holding it up. Why don't you think about melting? Like your legs are heavy, maybe your legs soften. Maybe they open up just a tiny little bit. If you want to touch your knees, you can do that. You can do whatever feels comfortable. The main purpose of restorative yoga is to be relaxed. And to really, really take that tension out of your body. Have another minute. Slowly start to wake yourself up just enough to push through your feet. Remove that block. When you set your hips down, it's going to feel funny, like that block is kind of still there. Take a breath and draw your knees into your chest. And just take a moment and stretch that back out. So now we're going to set up for legs up the wall. So if you have a wall and you know how to do legs up the wall, you can do that. I'm going to use a chair here. Again, I love my blankets. So I have my pillow, I have my blanket on the ground to stay warm. And then I usually take another blanket. I can always use Afghans, sheets, anything you can find laying around the house, towel, a beach towel. And I always put it on my chair. So this pose, we're going to be here for maybe about 10 minutes, and we're going to do a full body scan. If we're not too tired, I might read you a script. And then after that, we'll do Shavasana. So I want you to think about just taking your time and getting your feet up the wall or on your chair. And then I take the blanket and I grab my feet so they're nice and toasty. It's kind of like a cocoon. Sometime next week or next time we do class, I'll show you how to wrap your upper body. So take your time laying all the way down. Again, when you get here, you've got to readjust. The chair might have to come forward. You might have to come forward. But you can see I totally missed my pillow. So once you come here, just wiggle into that mat. Your hands can be at your side, on your stomach, on your chest, whatever feels comfortable to you. So we're going to close our eyes as we melt into the floor. And I want you to pick up your hands. And I want you to rub your temples, nice little circles. Nice, gentle circles, really relaxing. Letting the tension go. And slowly work down your face, work on your chin, your cheeks, whatever feels good. Little tiny circles. Just kind of resting and relaxing. And take your hands and maybe massage the back of your neck, turning your head side to side. So really think about relaxing, doing the body scan. We're starting with our head. When you're ready, set your hands back down where they're comfortable. Let's think about our shoulders now. Let's think about letting our shoulders melt into our mats. When you think about where are your shoulders at, what are your shoulders doing? Let your arms go. Maybe let your hands drop to your side. You can palms facing the ceiling. Make gentle fists again. Tiny little fists. And slowly open it up, let the stress down. So work your way down to your chest, to your abdomen. Really let it rest on the ground. So the hardest thing about legs up the wall or on a chair is we have a tendency to hold them. I want you to release them. Let the chair hold your legs. The wall holds your feet and hold your legs up. Think about maybe letting them drop open, pretend your legs are heavy. Think about any tension you have anywhere in your body and let it go. So then when you get to our feet, I want you to think about the tension in your feet. Feet work hard all day. Start with the ankles and work down to the feet. Maybe move on the toes and stretch your toes out. And then let your feet settle. So really relax into that chair or that mat with your legs up the wall. So I'm going to read you a short meditation while we're here. This is my absolute favorite meditation. So repeat quietly in your mind, today is a great day. As you breathe slowly and deeply, imagine a vibrant yellow light flowing into your body with every breath you take. This yellow light is charged with this powerful, positive energy. So with every breath you take, your body will become naturally energized. You may feel a slight tingling as this positive yellow energy spreads throughout your entire body. It's recharging every cell and every part of you. As your life force is recharged with this positive, vibrant energy, you feel simple pleasures in being alive. You begin to look forward to tomorrow. Embrace this feeling. Give yourself permission to feel great about yourself. So quietly repeat in your mind, I am energized, I am healthy, and I feel great. Just be quietly aware in the back of your mind that with every breath you take, your body and your energy will continue to recharge. So keep breathing nice and steady. So smile to yourself. Pay attention how that simple little smile improves your overall mood. So try to keep that smile on your face while you repeat quietly in your mind after me. I love my life. I am grateful for my life. I love who I am. I am confident. I am loved. I am happy. I feel great about myself. I am safe and I feel safe. Today, everything will be fun and easy. Today, wonderful things will happen to me. I am allowing myself to enjoy this day. Today is a great day. So we're starting to feel that tension. Be mindful of where it's coming from. Let your feet relax, your knees. Everything's relaxed. Few more minutes. And if you're feeling tense, maybe make gentle fists again. Open your hands and let that energy. Bring the energy in and let that stress go. When we're ready, we're going to take our time, getting off the chair or getting off the couch or down the wall. If you're on the wall, just gently slide your feet down the wall. And lay on one side or the other and just really take your time. Coming back. You have a chair, you can push it away, just push it away. And maybe give yourself a nice, beautiful whole body stretch. Your hands over your head. Take a big breath in and then just drop it and let all the tension go. So we're going to set up for Shavasana. And we're gonna be laying on the floor, so you might wanna cover up with a blanket. You might wanna ground yourself a little bit, you might wanna nest your head in a blanket or in a pillow. You might wanna shut your music off. You have lights on, maybe turn your lights off. We're gonna set ourselves up, we're gonna be here, it looks like about 8 or 9 minutes. Hopefully I won't fall asleep, I've done that once in my career. I hope I never do it again. So once you get down into Shavasana, again, think of that body scan, start at the top of your head. Quietly and work down to your toes. And let that stress and that tension go. Maybe picture yourself on a beach. Or some beautiful place that you love to go, your happy place. Close your eyes and let your breath go. You're in a safe place. And just rest. So start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe stretch a little bit. Take your time moving on to one side or the other. When you're ready, just come to a seated position. So I have this really favorite quote that I learned from a monk that's out in Woodstock at the Blue Lotus. His name is Bonte, and I actually have it on my wall in my office. And then what he says is, I am well, I am happy, and I am peaceful. So let's close our eyes for 1 minute and let's just repeat that. If you want to repeat it out loud, you can. If you want to repeat it quietly, you can. So let's take a nice breath in. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. So let's take a big, beautiful breath in and pause. A beautiful exhale. Just remember how you feel right now. You can create this feeling, this sense of peacefulness anywhere, anytime, or any place. You have control of your life. Namaste.